Let's move on. As part and parcel of a larger ecosystem that wants to hurt India when it has assumed the presidency of the G20. The Indian government itself, viewers, believes this. Not just that. Hundreds of other Indians today who've taken to Twitter believe this. And this won't be the first time. India won't also be the first country, and Narendra Modi also won't be the first leader. These tactics, borrowed from the Cold War, viewers, and much before, were already in operation. Fake news knows no borders. And this fake news that the Indian government says has been propagated by BBC, even the United States and the United Kingdom, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom doesn't endorse. But viewers, Lutyens media, Lutyens commentators, Lutyens politicians, they, viewers, platform this fakery. Rahul Gandhi, for example, certifies the truth. He says truth has a nasty habit of erupting. And he questions the government for banning this particular movie. I believe, personally, viewers, that they shouldn't have. Because the best way of exposing a film is to either make a counter film or to put out the facts. And people are not silly. They know. Viewers, this is not an attempt just at targeting Modi. It is an attempt at discrediting India, and there are powerful forces, and this has been attested to not by me, but by members of parliament from the United Kingdom, to try and puncture India's growth story. We have emerged from COVID, viewers, as the leading economy. And today people want to reduce us to a land of bigotry. You remember, viewers, in the past, some big manufacturers in Europe were attacked by certain big NGOs and governments for doing what, viewers? For outsourcing their business to countries like India. And you know what the pretext was? Oh, that there was rampant child labor. All of this was later exposed as a farce, viewers, as fake news. Nonetheless, it cost us. Today, when India is going out there and presenting its story, it has enemies trying to discredit it. I want to bring in first Dr. Anand Ranganathan on this. Dr. Ranganathan, what do you make of this entire controversy where now the opposition says, show us this film, and if you don't, we will project it, even though the BBC itself hasn't released it in this country?
Rahul, look, the BBC documentary on Modi is a landfill of lies, propaganda, selectivity, and shameless peddling of a fake narrative demolished by none other than the highest court in this land. I have on your show a couple of days ago, Rahul, if you remember, exposed in great detail the fraudulent ways of the BBC, giving 27 facts in 3 minutes, facts that remain unchallenged and that shame this organization populated by chauthi fail leftists and anti-science failures in life. So I won't repeat myself tonight. Suffice it to say that I'd much rather put Harpic in my eyes than watch that trash again. And the supreme irony is, they slander Modi, who has been fact-checked by the Supreme Court, but don't fact-check those who they call on their documentary to slander Modi. Unbelievable, and a reflection of the depths the BBC has fallen to. Take Arundhati Roy. She takes stupidity and illogic to such extreme levels. It can safely be assumed that not only is she smoking good weed, she's also consuming the meat of an animal grazing on even better weed. They give her space to rant, but don't reveal her psychopathic claim that a riot victim, Kausar Banu's womb was ripped open and her fetus brandished at sword point by Modi's Hindutva Brigade was authoritatively debunked by none other than the Chief Information Commissioner of India, who went to the trouble to not only locate the family but also the doctor who performed the autopsy. Then there is Akar Patel called on to provide his view. I mean, that for me seals it. The only human who has a nose larger than Pinocchio is this hack who peddled so many lies about Modi. The action-reaction lie, the Raj Dharma lie, the calling army 3 days later lie. None of it fact-checked by the BBC. Then there are Sanjeev Bhatt and Teesta Setalwad, who the documentary calls a martyr, exposed ruthlessly by the Supreme Court, that dismissed her petition to unfreeze her bank accounts frozen after charges of embezzling funds meant for 2002 riot victims and used instead for alcohol, movies and food. A key prosecution witness in the 2002 Best Bakery case, Yasmin Banu, claimed she was lured by Teesta into giving false testimony. I now come to the second issue very briefly, Rahul. Yes, the BBC documentary is a landfill of lies, as I said. But a landfill has a place in our society. It must be allowed to exist despite its putrid smell. As a free speech absolutist, I find it unacceptable and disgusting that the Modi government has banned the BBC documentary. It is a draconian step and it reeks of what the Congress would have done. What shocks me is that all those BJP supporters and ministers who outrage whenever Congress banned a film or a book are now either silent on what the BJP has done or are actively justifying it. When it comes to freedom of speech, sadly, Rahul, BJP and the Congress are two sides of the same coin, except that the Congress has had a head start. Modi is the new Nehru. Thankfully, there is no equivalent of Rahul in the BJP because Rahul is in the BJP.
Well, viewers, as I told you, even I don't agree with this decision to ban this movie. Let it play. In fact, the BBC itself doesn't want to play it here. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, why ban this film? I want to ask you this question. When it is so full of refuse, that it is so easy, so full of garbage, that it is easy to repudiate it. इसको क्यों ban कर दिया साहब?
Sir, so the fact of the matter is, the people of India in the 21st century are not having time to be wasted or to be filled by this garbage, which has been totally discarded, disgusted, and it has been rejected by all the constitutional apparatus of this country, by the legislature, by the executive, by the judiciary, and by the people of India. But still some people want to have this type of thinking. I just want to say one thing in reply. The tallest and the oldest BBC journalist who lived in India was Mark Telley. And Mark Telley, in his article in as early as 2019 September, has written that Muslims in India are the luckiest. And he has given in the reason that for 26 years he has lived in the Nizamuddin area of Delhi, and on one side of the road was Hazrat Nizamuddin Auliya's Dargah, on the other side of the road was Tablighi Jamaat's office. He said, for 26 years there could not have existed in any other Muslim country of the world. किसी दूसरे ने दूसरे को तबाह जरूर कर दिया होता, बट भारत के मुसलमान इसलिए लकी हैं कि अपने मजहब में जैसे चाहें वो इबादत कर सकते हैं. ये 2019 सितंबर में वो कह रहा है. नाउ इट इज मार्क टेली इज करेक्ट और द प्रेजेंट डिस्पेंसेशन ऑफ बीबीसी इज करेक्ट. एंड वन सेंटेंस आई वुड लाइक टू से, Congress party, which was established by a British officer, Ellen Octavian Hume, is still after 75 years of independence, is trying to have a tacit support to demean India by some biased British journalist.
Sir,
in this context, I would like to say just one sentence.
No, sir. Dr. Trivedi, one question I have to ask you.
One sentence.
And I want to ask you this on behalf of Dr. Ranganathan. I am not asking you this. This is a question that Dr. Ranganathan would want to ask you. Do you think that Dr. Ranganathan would like to watch garbage? And if you think that he is smart enough not to want to watch garbage of 1 hour, and tonight, viewers, the second part of this garbage will be shown, by the way. So it's not an abstract discussion we are having. If you have faith in Dr. Ranganathan and other intelligent people, why, sir, be paternalistic towards them? They will make up
on
their
what
own
Dr.
minds.
Ranganathan has said on equating Nehru ji with Modi ji, I would like to say, अरे नेहरू जी के खिलाफ तो एक आर्टिकल लिख दिया था तो मजरू सुल्तानपुरी 2 साल जेल में रहे थे. मोदी जी के खिलाफ क्या क्या नहीं बोला गया 8 साल में. गंदी से गंदी भाषा रोज का रोज बैठ के टीवी के ऊपर. द डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड इज फुल एंड नॉट इवन ए सिंगल एक्शन हैज बीन टेकन. बट एज फार एज दोज थिंग्स आर कंसर्न्ड कि इट शुड बी अलाउड. तो साहब अगर आप ये बात कहें तो मैं अरे भाई मौत की कामना, कुत्ते की मौत, हिटलर की मौत, इससे ज्यादा क्या बोला जा सकता है? मोटी डॉक्टर रंगनाथन, you cannot quote a single instance in which any other leader के लिए ये वर्ड यूज किया गया हो, बोटी बोटी काट डालूंगा, कुत्ते की मौत, हिटलर की मौत, मरेगा, etc. etc. by the senior most leaders. So this comparison is not appropriate. But one thing I would like to say, on this pretext you will say the drug should be allowed. The person is wise enough to understand what I should eat and why should not eat.
Okay, very quickly. Dr. Ranganathan, quick response.
Yes, while Sudhanshuji is right that a lot of slander, abuses have been targeted towards the Prime Minister, it is also a fact that a lot of people who have abused him have also been jailed. I have instances running thread of people who have abused Modi have been put in the clangor in the jail. And secondly, I want to ask him, when I say BJP and the Congress are two sides of the same coin, I want to ask him a simple question. Do you support, sir? Do you support the ban on Salman Rushdie's satanic verses? Yes or no?
Sir, we have opposed because that was a novel and this is documentary.
Oh, really?
There is a huge difference between a novel and a documentary.
Viewers, look, let me tell you. Let me tell you 1 second. One second. Free speech in this country. Free speech in this country is shackled.
He said he is writing a novel.
No, it doesn't matter. No, 1 second, Dr. Saab, please. Let's not defend the indefensible. Here, there are certain issues. Look, people called out for a ban on Kashmir files. You supported the movie. You know this. Look, let's not be hypocritical about this. I think you should let people watch it. But the one Pathan, viewers, who no one will ban, and no one can dare to ban, is sitting on our show tonight. Advocate Waris Pathan. वारिस भाई, मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं. आप किसकी बात मानना चाहते हैं? सुप्रीम कोर्ट की, जैक स्ट्रॉ की? जैक स्ट्रॉ जिसने इनोसेंट मुसलमानों की हत्या करवाई इराक में, छल्ली करवा दिया इराक को झूठ बोल के. आप मुझे यह बताइए, भारत का सुप्रीम कोर्ट वर्सेस झूठा जैक स्ट्रॉ. Who do you stand with, sir, tonight? Jack Straw, viewers, is a person who has been quoted by the BBC as the gospel of truth. Now you tell me, Waris Pathan, the mass murderer of Muslims,
Rahul,
or
truth
the Supreme Court of India?
Rahul, the truth surfaces, it never dies. Now the BBC has made a documentary on the 2002 pogrom of Gujarat where Narendra Modi was the chief minister at that time. You cannot deny that fact. You cannot deny the fact that Muslims were massacred. A member of parliament from the Congress party was cut into several pieces. You cannot deny the fact that Bilkis Banu and her family raped, murdered. Her daughter was hit with the stone. The documentary, if you feel, allow me to see, I was very silent, quiet, and I was listening.
No, I will not ban you, Pathan.
Allow me to make my point and I will report whatever questions
you can speak.
Ask, I'll answer to your question.
आपकी फिल्म चलेगी.
या बोले जब पठान अच्छे का दिमाग हिल जाए. पठान is trending.
फिल्म चलेगी.
पठान is trending. So is my friend Anand Ranganathan.
आपकी फिल्म चलेगी आज. आप चलाइए.
बिरयानी का वास्ता राहुल 10 seconds.
Anyhow, I've run out of time. Gentlemen, I've run out of time, sir. मेरे डायरेक्टर साहब ने बोल दिया, शरीफ भाई बोल रहे हैं कि मेरा एड ड्रॉप हो जाएगा, प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. सर मुझे बख्श दो. Thank you. I'll take a short break. Viewers, the film should be shown in this country and you will see the propaganda that it is. I hope it happens, because I'll tell you one thing. Lokesh Jindal, there is one thing I kept from all my viewers, that the film that you banned, the ban was reversed on that film by the UPA. ये आपको पता नहीं था, ये गूगली है. I'll leave it at this.